Hey guys, sorry I'm out today. I had to go do a bus test today and just wish me luck. Today we're going to start triangle congruency. And when I say congruency, I mean talking about triangles that have the same shape and same size. And they also may be reflected or rotated. And when I mean by reflected or rotated, so if I rotate a triangle or reflect it, it should look exactly the same. Okay. Just when I reflect it, it's flipped, and when I rotate it, it's turned. So, but it still should be the same shape and same size. Anyways, if you look down below here, they're asking you to identify which triangles are congruent. So if you look at A and you look at C, okay, those two triangles are congruent. Okay, they look exactly the same, just they're kind of, looks like one is turned. Look at B and F, it looks also like it's rotated as well. So those two are congruent. Go on to the next set of notes. Objects that are exactly the same size and shape are said to be congruent. The mathematical symbol used to denote congruent is shown right here. Okay, that means congruent. Okay, the symbol is made up of two parts. Okay, that little squiggly line above means the shape is similar, and the equal sign means that the shape has the same size or equal. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so when you're looking at congruent figures, be sure to find the sides and the angles that match up are in the same place in each figure. Sides and angles that match up are called corresponding sides and corresponding angles. So here's an example here. Okay, the corresponding angles are angle A and angle D. If you notice, they're both labeled 70. So we're going to say angle A is congruent to angle D. Okay. The corresponding other angles are B and E. Both are 50 degrees, so we say angle B is congruent to angle E. Last corresponding angles are angle C and angle F. And so you notice that they're both 60 degrees, so angle C is congruent to angle F. And then we look at the sides, okay? Angle AB, side AB, not angle. Side AB is 4, and side DE is 4. Those are corresponding sides. So AB is congruent to DE, okay? Then we look at BC, okay, and EF. I notice they're 4.5, so those are corresponding to each other. So BC is congruent to EF, okay? And then I look at AC and DF, AC and DF, and they're both 3. So AC is congruent to DF. Okay, so that's how you kind of name which ones are congruent or which sides are corresponding to each other. You just say which is congruent to which. Okay. All right, next page. All right, so just some rule of thumb there. Okay, congruent means you're looking at the figure, the whole figure, and seeing what matches up, okay? When you see the equal sign, that means you're looking at numbers, all right? Okay? So here's some examples of what we need to do, okay? We need to be able to name the triangle based on their corresponding parts, okay? And so what we did here is I looked at these tick marks, and tick marks mean they're congruent. And I matched it up with the tick marks on this figure, okay? So right there and right there are the tick marks, 3 of them. So I noticed that here is 3, there's 3, this side's 1, this side's 1, this side's 2, this side's 2. Now, you could start from any letter you want. I don't care, but as long as you go in the correct order. So, for example, I started at A here, and when I went from A to P, then P to T, right? So, so I named the triangle APT, and you look, the reason why I went 3, 1, 2, okay? So if we go here, that's 3 ticks, 1 tick, and 2 tick. I got to go in the same order, 3, 1, 2. So F to D to W. So that's why I named it triangle APT is congruent to triangle FDW, okay? Next, Okay. So here they want you to name. They want you to write the congruency statement. Okay. So the two triangles are congruent. It's telling you that. And I'm going to try to go in the same order. It doesn't matter which letter I start with. Now, here I started with A. Well, if I look, I went along from A to B to C. Well, if I look here, A to B has one tick. This has no tick. And then this one has two ticks on the bottom. Okay. So I went triangle A, B, C. And then I went here. And I started with E. Okay, because I noticed that E and A match up with their angle symbol. Okay, so I go E, D, C. Okay, because I went from here to here because of the tick mark, and then there was no tick mark. Okay, and that's the third side there. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. All right, so there's my congruency statement. Also, you should notice that, when you're doing angles, A and E match up if you look at the letters. Okay, so A and E here, B and D match up, C and C match up on this picture. Okay, the two triangles are congruent. Okay, they're telling me that. All right, so you have two triangles kind of connected here. Sometimes it looks a little different, or a little, it's a little hard to name them, but write the congruency statement. Okay, so I started to start at P, and I went from P to R to T, and I went along with the tick marks here. I said 2 to 3 to 1, okay? So I named it triangle PRT. And then I noticed that here, if I go kind of like the same theme to it, S to T to R, and the reason is this had 2, this had 3, and this had 1 tick mark. Same thing as over here, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so triangle PRT is congruent to triangle STR. Okay, and remember those letters match up before you do anything else. Remember P and S have to match up. Okay, especially when they start labeling angles. Okay, R goes with T, T goes with R. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, lastly, they might set you up with some equations, okay? And if they say they are congruent, okay, and you notice here they put some, there's some green right there that goes with the green one here, and well, that just lets you know that L and S match up, okay, because they are congruent, all right? And so M and T match up, and then P and P, so these two in the middle match up, all right? So I want to solve for X and Y. Well, I noticed that this is 45 L, angle L is 45 degrees, and angle S is 45 degrees. Okay, so those are going to be the same. I'm going to match up now M and T. Well, I know that they are congruent, so 15X equals 75. Okay. So if I solve that, I figure out if I divide that by 15, 15x equals 75, divide by 15, I get x equals 5. Okay? And if you want to know this other angle, okay, it should come out to 75 as that. Just double check. You always plug it back in. So 15 times 5 is 75. Okay? So right now, I need to find out this third angle right here, 6y. Well, if we recall, a triangle equals how many degrees? Okay, so you should have answered 180 degrees. So when I look at this triangle, I know that 6y, 45, and 75 should all add up to 180. So this is what I did. I did 45 plus 75 plus 6y equals 180. Well, 6y equals 60, then y equals 10, okay? And I got 6y. All I did was add 45 and 75 and subtract it from 180. That gives me 60 on the right-hand side. Okay, 6y is left on the left-hand side. So we get 6y equals 60. I divide both sides by 6, and I get y equals 10. All right, so that's all the notes I have for today. I have a worksheet to do with this. Make sure you finish that worksheet and hand it in to the teacher, the substitute teacher, by the end of class. All right. Thank you.